Yeah, always ready. Hey everybody, welcome to Pouring Over Properties, your podcast where two Vegas locals spill on local spirits and properties. So today, our first podcast of 2025 is actually going to be a little bit of a recap.
1, 2, 3, 4.
A little bit of a I gotcha scenario.
A little
reminiscing of our 2024 prediction podcast that we released last January.
We'll put it in the notes so you can watch it because it was actually pretty good. I've watched it a couple times now to confirm that I am smarter than Scott.
Oh, I think he suckered me into a couple of those, but we'll break them down as we go. This little snake to the right of me. But yeah, hey, shot in the dark was what we called it, and we took those. A little bit of swing and a miss, a little bit of I won, you won scenarios. So yeah, we'll get into that. We'll also talk about, obviously what we think 2025 is looking like here in the future. And yeah, just giving you our thoughts of what the Vegas market, could possibly expect over the next 12 months.
Absolutely. So it is our first episode of 2025 here in January. We are at the Oak Room here in the GVR, right next to Green Valley Ranch. And our spirit of the day, we're not drinking a beer today, so let's talk about our whiskey.
So this is a Smoke Wagon from Las Vegas Distillery. Probably took them a while to come up with that name. Seeing how it's a distillery in Las Vegas, I wonder how long it took them to figure out what they were going to name it. But Smoke Wagon, it actually does taste good. I've had it in the past, and it is like, I wouldn't say highly renowned whiskey out there. I love myself a good whiskey, but it's known in crowds to be pretty tasty. So
well, we know what we say to that.
Let's dive in. Cheers to
Cheers
that.
To that. It's a little spicy. It's good.
Yeah, I mean, the first sip of the day is always spicier than the rest.
Yeah. No,
by the end of this, with the Q belts just a little bit, even though it's like 30 degrees outside right now, probably not going to melt too much, but the fire might help that happen.
It's a little brisk this morning. I think it's the coldest day of the winter season this year, but
I woke up, it said 29 on the weather app, and I was like, I'm gonna wear 2 sweats, 4 jackets on my dog walk this morning because I hate being cold walking my dog around there.
But we're gonna warm up as we talk about what happened in 2024.
I thought we were warm up because of the whiskey.
Nope, we're gonna talk about my win. So our first prediction of 2024, we talked about rates because that's all anyone could talk about in 2023 and 2024. And surprise, it's still anything.
It's worse.
People can talk about.
It's worse.
So
how is it worse? Like this was not a prediction. We both thought it was going to get better.
We did
by a pretty hefty amount. Me a little bit heftier.
Some of us were a little more.
I'm a little heftier than you in general. So it's like I'm trying to stay on brand. Trying to do that.
Our first bet was where rates would be in 2025, and it was for a sushi bet at our favorite sushi restaurant. We gave them a shout out in 2024. We'll give them another shout out.
Why not?
It's Toro Sushi.
Toro Sushi on Valley Verde.
We'll do an episode there this year. We promised it last year, but we'll do it this year.
Yes.
So what was our first bet? We talked about rates.
So rates. So I was a little bit optimistic, and I said it in the video that I was being optimistic because the feds actually announced that they were going to do 4 to 5 to even 6 rate cuts in 2024. They lied. They also lied about inflation numbers and unemployment numbers.
Fair.
So, there's a lot of lying and a lot of misleading going on when it came to them not.
Can we not get on a watch list?
To not lowering the rates. I was just like going they're watching.
Yes.
And actually, more eyeballs the better. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
Shout out to Edward Snowden. So my guess was where would we see the rates in 2025 or the end of December, and I guessed 5 3/4, which is 5.75 to about the 5.8 range is kind of where I felt comfortable, which was a whole 1% lower than where they stood last January. But I thought with 4 rate cuts are typically a 1/4 point at a time, if not half, where they do a bigger jump. So I felt like the prediction made sense until nothing happened for 8 months. And I knew it was a loss.
Our last video, we were debating if it was going to happen in January, and I was like, there's no way it's going to happen in January, maybe March, and you were so hostile to the fact that it wasn't going to happen.
I feel like they had to do something because 2022 market was just slow. It wasn't abysmal. Like values were still good. It was just the amount of transactions across the board, across the nation, was pretty sad. So I just felt like that there needed to be some sort of economy boost, and that's a good way to make people feel good.
5 1/4 or 5 3/4.
Under 6, I would have won. Over 6, you would have won. But we didn't even mention the fact that it could be a 7% today.
Doesn't matter. The over won, and guess what that means? Cheers to that. I get sushi.
All right, no problem.
Okay. So we're gonna give you guys a little bit of a twofer here. Now we're gonna do our 2025 prediction.
What rates?
Of rates. Do you want to choose? You want me to choose?
You go first, bud.
So
flip the script on you.
So I'm gonna do, because we're doing everything over under, because that's the only fair way to do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do 6 1/4.
Over.
You're gonna do the over?
Over. I was a little bit wild last year, so I'm trying to be a little more conservative this year. You know, you got to flip the script on him. So you say 6
about the under.
All right, I would be very excited about that under, sir. I just, with the new presidency coming in, just yesterday, I don't know where inflation's going to be. The Feds and Trump have never really got along. Just back in October, they were talking about, hey, right before the election happened, they were like, yeah, we're going to cut rates twice by the end of the year and definitely multiple times next year. And then all of a sudden, the election happened.
Yeah.
Trump won. And in December, in their meeting, they were grilling the Fed.
It's all fair.
And they were asking him, like, what can you project for next year? And the Feds were like, we actually can't predict these things. They're like, well, sir, 2 months ago,
well, I'm
you predicted these.
Under 6 1/4. For sushi again?
Yeah, all day. For
sushi.
Over 6 1/4. I really hope he's right, just because that'll be good for everybody, that owns a home and wants to buy here in Las Vegas or anywhere. That's definitely going to be helpful. But 7.08 is where they stand today, I want to say.
Okay.
7.7.
I know.
Imagine that wasn't even
there. I definitely had a bigger ramp there, and I'm very excited about it.
I thought we were in a ceiling, last January, and the ceiling has now just got a little bit higher. So, let's hope for the best, for sure.
Okay, so let's get to our next prediction that we had for 2024, which was amount of units sold.
Oh.
So for that one, we did an over-under of 2,500.
25,000.
I'm sorry, 25,000, you're right.
Yeah. See, I'm right.
Once again, he was wrong.
Wait, hold on. All right, watch the video. He asked, how many do I think we're going to have? And I was like, 25,000 would be a good number. And he was like, I agree with that number. And I was like, well, how can you agree? We got to make a bet out of it.
We did.
And you let me choose the over and the under of the 25,000. I chose the over.
So I'm going to go back to my previous statement. You're wrong.
Yeah, but we agreed. We agreed on the number.
Yeah, but you're still wrong, because you chose. You didn't end up with the selection. Like I ended up with the selection, so I can't say I was right, but I can definitely say you were wrong.
Okay, all right, yeah, I just wanted to admit.
So let's cheers that.
That second part.
You being wrong.
And that was for a golf round, which I'm way better at golf. I'll get you on the course, buddy.
It's gonna be, I want to go somewhere nice.
Bring the cash.
I really want to. I want to go somewhere real nice where I can really show off my skills.
Yeah, somewhere.
I get my money's worth on every course I go.
Somewhere where people don't know me, because I don't want to be embarrassed.
Well, no.
By you.
So
yeah, exactly.
So 25,000 was our over under. We ended up at
23,740. Just under the 24,000 mark. Last year was like 22,500. So we saw an increase of about 5% in the amount of single family residents is sold.
Okay, so
which is way under what we normally see. Normally, like 30,000 is pretty normal. 35, 38, I want to say was that 2021 wildness.
So with that, I'm gonna let you select the number this time for 2025.
I selected it last time.
But I selected the rate on the last over and under, remember?
All right.
You want me to select the number? I'll select the number.
I'll go with, I'm just going to go with the easy math. All right, this should be the over-under bet, 26. Because if we do another 5% increase, that's going to land us right at the high 5,
I'm going to
25.
take the over on this one.
All right. Oh, I guess I'm going with the under then. Yeah. All right. I'm fine with that. I hope not. Gosh, he's got both bets on the side I want to be on, but last year I was on the side that I wanted to be on. So now I'm flipping. Yeah, this is a flip. Flip the script, sort of.
I can just tell by the amount of calls and things I'm doing in the first couple weeks of January. Something has shifted. It's
definitely heated up a little bit. Yeah, I hope so, and it should be there. I think we should get closer to that 27, 28 number that start creeping towards the 30,000.
I think we're going to be
People
there.
have too much debt and too much equity, and that combination is just not sustainable in today's market. So it's like, what are you going to do with your $300,000 of equity, sir? You're just going to let it sit there and not become in your pocket when you have $23,000 of credit card debt at 23% a month?
But I also think we talked about this last year, is I think a lot of those people, they're not going to be selling their homes. There's the people that with those rates, they're going to be buying.
It's going to be hard to afford. I mean, yeah.
It's going to be hard to afford, but they're not going to want to give it up, and they're going to be coming mom and pop investors.
Well, yeah, and unfortunately with what's going on in Southern California, LA, Palisades.
Oh, I did a video on that. I think we're going to increase just because of that.
I mean, Josh Altman came out and said he thinks 70% of the people that are with their homes burnt down are going to go somewhere. They're leaving, the area that they're in, whether that's all of California together, but they're not going to build on that same spot.
I think that'll be our next video. We can dive deep into that on our next video.
We should, yeah, about the insurance, all of that, because there's such there's such a wormhole you could go down when it comes to that. But hey, my thoughts and prayers are still with everybody. I have a lot of friends, clients with family that do live down there. They're displaced, disheveled. Their kids can't go to their school anymore. It's really a sad scenario. And how long until it becomes back to normal?
We still have guys and girls
it's still going on, the fire.
Southern Nevada, Northern Nevada, firefighters are still down there fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a text. I was on a text this morning about a meeting. One of the guys who's supposed to be on it is deployed down there, and they didn't have a hotel room for him last night. They're out in the cold, and it's just as cold in California as it's here today.
Yeah.
And they said they froze their ass off and just couldn't wait to get to a hotel room. So the people from all across the Western United States are doing great work.
It just blows my mind when you see those, $30 million mansions that you got ocean, house, street, and then a mountain. I'm like, the last home, I would expect to be burnt down was the one 20 feet from the ocean in Southern California. It would be like the least, predicted home that I think would be burnt down. And so, hey, to all the families out there, like seriously, our thoughts are with you.
Yep.
Need a place to stay. Vegas is an awesome place to come. It's only a 3.5, 4 hour commute.
The hotels are doing a lot of good work for that too.
Exactly. There is a good spot here. Very family friendly in Vegas, which is something that a lot of people don't understand.
A misnomer.
Yeah, exactly. Like nobody understands how family friendly that Vegas is until you live here. So
cheers to that.
Hey, yeah, cheers. Salute.
Okay, let's talk about the only thing you won on a technicality.
The technicality is I'm smarter than you.
So the last bet we had was what median prices would be. We did an over-under, and then there were some shenanigans towards the middle of the video where...
Shenanigans?
Well, we had an over-under, and then you decided to change the over-under to where I had a small margin of victory, which is fine. I mean, I agreed to it. But you won. Congratulations.
Well, because once again we agreed on the number, and I just didn't want to go carte blanche again. I was just like, hey man, I gave you a big window on the other two.
So we were 458.
I was stuck in I was stuck in not even 0.5%, a half, 10% of a half.
I honestly think we kind of screwed that one up.
That was a bad bet. Yeah.
But he won, so I have to actually buy the drinks at sushi.
Oh, cool. Sake is very cheap. Wow.
Yeah.
What a loss. I mean, overall, I didn't lose the 2 out of 3, so it is an overall loss for Big Dog.
I'm going to take the win on that one.
Yeah.
So we predicted 458. Like I said, I think we somehow messed up our numbers there. Ended up being, what,
475. 475 for single-family residences sold.
A little over 5% increase year over year.
Yeah, like 5.8 or so percent, which is solid. Everybody keeps saying how we're at the ceiling. We're at the ceiling, for, I want to say, like 5 years running.
We're not at the ceiling.
Yeah, 5 years running, we've been at the ceiling, and I really don't. Actually, I want to say, shout out to my brother Dustin. He was like in 2018, he thought we were at the ceiling. If I bought 6 homes in 2018, I'd be up like 1.5 million in my investments. So,
congratulations on your win there.
Oh, thank you. Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
Wins matter.
So, where are we thinking our over-under number is in 2025? Do you want me to give it, or do you want to give it?
Well, it's only fair to stick with like the mathematics of it, right?
5%?
Yeah, because we went from about 4, in high 440s, and we're at 475. So it's up 28 grand or so, 30 grand over the year.
Let's go 510 over under.
510 over under.
Or
yeah.
505.
Yeah, I mean,
This is where our battle was last time.
I think we're definitely gonna hit the 5 number.
Okay, so 505.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. You could choose, because I mean, if it's 510, that's an awesome increase.
Okay, so we're gonna do 505, and you can go over under.
I'll go under.
Okay, I like my over at 505. So that one, I think we need a new bet though. I think drinks at sushi, it's kind of
so sushi, golf, and what's the third one? What's the third one? We get to choose what the other person wears at the prediction video next year.
Yes.
Something fun.
Absolutely.
Something weird and fun. Maybe I'll show up in all orange. Maybe I'll slap a bow tie on this guy. Something to change up the, something a little bit more fun with it. Like it's a fantasy football, it's all about, it's not the monetary value of the bet. It's what happens through the bet. I mean, nothing too weird, even though if I win, don't know if I'm going to hold myself to that.
This is on the interwebs, so.
Yeah, well, we did the Halloween episode.
And we've already acknowledged the feds watch us, so that's cool.
Yeah, we're going to have to cut that little part out just to get a little more eyeballs.
But overall, I think 2024 was a strong year.
Yeah.
5% in sales increase, 5% in median value. The only thing that didn't go so well was
the rates. And it really didn't stop the housing market from still being good.
No.
And that's the part that is super hopeful with 2025 coming forward. And honestly, like December of 2023 compared to 2024, the amount of homes sold just in December was up over 18%, almost 19%.
Yeah, like I said,
so like the homes are moving, they really are. And there's a lot of ample opportunity out there, a lot of new builds that you can lock in low rates with, And I don't know if all of because like Lennar, the home builder, they don't post their properties to the MLS. So the data that we
pull, some of them they do actually now.
Some, but we're missing a giant pool of that.
Yeah.
So without those on there, like those numbers are definitely a little bit higher based on that. So I don't know. I really think it's going to be good. So I mean, we're talking almost 20% more homes sold in December.
Yeah.
And if it's 20% for the year, cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Cheers to a successful 2025 to you guys. Thank you for watching. We've had a lot of fun with this. We're going to keep it going. Hopefully the production value gets better because, we don't know what the hell we're doing. So
do we?
No.
Yeah, I mean, hey, fake it before you make it, bro.
Yeah. You guys missed the whole slow motion debacle one time, so.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about that again.
But thank you guys for watching. Literally, we wish you guys the best in 2025. We're thinking about you, Southern California. And cheers to that.
Yeah, cheers to that.
Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.